right. Welcome to the Southern State of Golf podcast. How are you doing? Well, unfortunately, I'm not Matthew McConaughey or his character Watterson from Dazed and Confused. I'm just your host, John. And if you can't tell from the introduction, today we're doing a short course episode, and we're doing it from what state? Yes, the great state of Texas. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Texas as a whole just might be underrated as a golf state. I think it's underrated. There's a number of reasons for that. But first, let's talk a little bit about some of the most notable golfers from Texas. I think the field is loaded. You got Ben Hogan, Byron Nelson, Lee Trevino. Now, I will admit I didn't know this name when I researched it. Kathy Whitworth. She's a legendary LPGA Tour player with a record 88 wins, and including 6 majors. There's Ben Crenshaw. And then two more recent notable people. Can you name them? Actually, there's really 3. First one is Patrick Reed, which I didn't know he was a Texas guy. There's Jordan Spieth, which I think a lot of us knew was from Texas. And then Scotty Scheffler, the world's #1 from Texas. So yeah, you think about that. Texas is loaded with legendary people and producing legendary golfers, but it is actually a legendary place to play golf. Now, I will say one of the reasons why I think Texas may not be rated super high with a lot of people, although to be truthful, I don't know how many people actually go around and rank the states. I think it's just a fun thing for us to do and talk about. But when you talk about ranking states according to how many top 100 golf courses they have, in some rankings and polls, they don't have a single top 100 overall course. Now, I think they do have several top 100 you can play courses. So that's why, a state like South Carolina does pretty well. It's a top 10 ranked state in terms of high-level courses, top 100 caliber courses. And I think another thing, and I'd be very curious, I want you to think about right now, what do you believe is the #1 course in Texas? I truly believe if I were to go ask 100 people this, I think I would get so many wide range of answers. And if you were to go look at the top 100 or the different top 100 ranking lists from all over golf, which everybody seems to have one, maybe we ought to do one here at the Southern State of Golf. But I think there's no consistency in like what is the #1 ranked golf course in Texas. There's just so many of them. So I will say this, if you were to go ask a bunch of people, what is the #1 ranked golf course in South Carolina? Most people are going to probably are going to get it. South Carolina might actually be a little too easy because I think most people would say, if they thought about it, Kiowa, the ocean course. Cool. If you were to ask North Carolina, most people would think, Pinehurst #2. Georgia, I think 99% of the people would say Augusta National and so forth. There's some other states where I would imagine Florida's a little bit more difficult, but I bet you in Florida you could even get, if you were to ask 100 people, they would probably pick one of, say, 4 or 5 courses. Whereas in Texas, I truly believe if you were to ask people, what is the #1 course in Texas? I think the range is insanely big. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just one of those things that I truly believe maybe, I don't know, hurts Texas in terms of being considered one of the better golf states in the country. And I'm here to say it. I truly believe Texas is one of the top 5 golf states in our country. I don't even think it's even close. Now, where Texas might lack, and I can't believe I'm even saying lack anything with Texas, the highest ranked elite courses they make up for in top-notch, high-level. They've got a bunch of them. They got a bunch of high-level courses that are really good, but maybe not ranked in the top 100. Then another thing great about Texas, I think is great for the common folk like me, is the fact that they've got a bunch of really good public options there. It's not all just private courses. Here in South Carolina, we've got a couple of solid public courses, but a lot of our best courses are private, that you've got to know someone to get on and those type of things. But in Texas, don't get me wrong, Texas still got some high level private courses, but there's a lot of high level public courses as well. So let's kind of get into it a little bit. I'm going to talk about my 10 golf experiences, courses, it's a little misleading, courses in Texas that I want to play. Now, I will admit this is not, I'm not ranking these like saying these are the 10 best courses. These are when I see it, this is, when I do a little research in golf, for me, looking at experiences, looking at the amenities around the golf course. I don't have a rubric out. Okay. I don't have this rubric. Maybe I should come up with a rubric of saying this is why I'm ranking this course above this course. It's just a feel for me. And sometimes it's even the amenities away from the golf course that would make me want to be there higher. All right, number 10 for me is La Cantera Golf Club. La Cantera Golf Club is in San Antonio, Texas, which, first of all, San Antonio is a beyond fantastic golf club. I mean, San Antonio is beyond fantastic city. It is one of those cities that if you go there, you're probably going there maybe for a sporting event, like a Final Four. I don't know what else they've had there, but it's a great host for a Final Four. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm even naming La Cantera Golf Club, because I had an opportunity to go there 20 plus years ago for a Final Four, and had an opportunity to play. I played I think got about 10 holes in at the La Cantera Golf Club before it started pouring down raining. They gave me a rain check, which is great. Which was not so great was I haven't been back to San Antonio in 20 plus years. I'm pretty sure that rain check has expired. But the La Cantera Golf Club, it's in Texas Hill Country, which is beautiful. It's just like say a little bit north of San Antonio. There's got great views of the city on a lot of the different holes. The resort is big. It's got nearly 500 rooms on the on-property resort. It's got a bunch of pools, health spa, tennis courts, things like that. This is they call it the La Cantera Golf Club, but it's not just a golf club. It is a good place. Like if you were going to San Antonio and you want to just travel back and forth, but you wanted to stay at a high level resort, the La Cantera Golf Club is a really good resort. It'd be a good thing for couples, spend time there. Fantastic golf club. There was one hole where you could actually probably, if you just hit it solid, and granted, this was 20 plus years ago, so I can't remember the hole, but you could beat it in over 400 yards because it was downhill. Like that wasn't like a 400-yard downhill drive. It was probably more like a 250-yard drive on a normal place, but that's just how steep some of the terrain and elevation is. But it is fantastic. One of those places I certainly would recommend. Coming in, number 9 on our list is the University of Texas Golf Club. Is there in Austin, Texas. It is, it's a true university-run golf club. It is a private club. It is one that, it's one of those that looks really cool to me. They even got the Spieth Lower 40 course, which is a 6-hole short course. It's a par 18. It's the yardage on it's 532 yards. It looks fantastic. And also, I like the logo too, where the little hook'em horns of Texas on there, and underneath it says golf club. I think it looks really, really cool. It's got, great reviews from the different things, and being in Austin is one of those cities that is just, it's been years since I've last been to Austin, but it's got, it's fantastic. The clubhouse looks amazing, but it is a private course. So this is one of those that would be hard to get on, but I think, University of Texas Golf Club coming in at number 9 is fantastic. Now, number 9 on my list here. Now number 8 on my list. This is different. This is probably one of the most different golf clubs on the list. It is the Cowboys Golf Club in Grapevine, Texas. It's just a little bit north. Matter of fact, it's really close to DFW Airport there, and it's less than 30 minutes away, from AT&T Stadium. This is a golf club, and it is a branded Dallas Cowboys. I don't know the partnership, if it's actually co-owned by the Dallas Cowboys or they're just branded out, some type of agreement, but it is a Dallas, Cowboys official golf club. And the way they build it is the first and only NFL themed golf club in the world. So if you're a Cowboys dude or a lady or whatever, this would be for you. Now, I am not a Cowboys guy. Matter of fact, if I was a Cowboys guy, like if this was a Gamecocks golf club, and all the little things, I'd probably be much higher put up in my ranking. But it's highly rated golf course amongst other things. One thing that makes this pretty cool to me is it is public, but it's an all-inclusive type of, or inclusive. I don't know if it's all inclusive, but inclusive type of thing. Now it's pricey for a round of golf. I just checked. If I were to go tee off today here in February, which I'm not, which I'm disappointed, it would cost $244. It gives you 18 holes. It says GPS enabled cart. Now you do get two gourmet dine-in meals at the Ring of Honor restaurant that is there on property, plus snacks, non-alcoholic beverages throughout your stay. I mean, it looks like, to me, those type of experiences look really, really cool for me. The pro shop looks really cool, although the one negative I can say is it's got a bunch of cowboy stuff. They got different putting courses. They even got a mock small level Cowboy Stadium football field there on property. It just looks like a really, really cool course. And you take away that stuff, I think it would be a really good golf course. But I think this type of experience, it's one that I want to go to. And I'm not a Cowboys fan. I got nothing against the Cowboys, but it's one that I certainly would want to go to. So I think the Cowboys Golf Club in Grapevine, Texas, like I say, just north of DFW. It's one of those, you got a long layover in DFW, like all day, or you got to spend the night, and just take your short Uber or something, see if you can go play, get in, get out. Our friend Ron Weir, who was on the podcast earlier, we had an opportunity to play Old Town with and Tree Farm. I know he's played out there before. He sent me pictures. He loves it. All right, number 7 on our list is the Colonial Country Club, there in Fort Worth, Texas. For me, the Colonial Country Club is one of those, like, when I grew up, you just on a random Sunday, you know, the Colonial Country Club PGA Tour event, it would be on there. I mean, it's just one of those things that probably, for whatever reason, I don't know why I remember that. It's just one that I remember. And like I said, being in Fort Worth, Texas, it's a venue that now hosts the Charles Schwab Challenge. It's been there since 1946. They even got holes at the Horrible Horseshoe, which I honestly don't know a ton about, but I have heard about people talk about that. It is a Perry Maxwell design. It's just one of these, I would imagine a lot of people would go back and say, what's the best golf course in Texas? There would be a lot of people that would say Colonial Country Club. Because I think that may be the most famous golf course in Texas with a lot of different people. I don't know, maybe just one of those things that I'm thinking about. It's also not terribly far from DFW Airport. It's about 20 miles. It is a private course, so that's one of those that certainly wouldn't be easy to get on, but that's one of those that if you can get on there, I think you got to go give it a shot. All right, number 6, and I am a sucker for quality municipal golf courses, and really even ones that aren't so quality. But Memorial Park Golf Course in Houston. And there would be people in Houston, Texas, there are people out there that would tell you that they'll put this particular municipal course amongst any in the country. It is that good. They just say it's that good of a golf course. They do host a PGA Tour event there. So there's a lot of good things there. I mean, it hosted the Texas Children's Houston Open. That's there. Now, the cool thing about it is, like, if you're a resident of the Houston area, like, it is super cheap. Like, I'm just looking on the rates right now. If you're a resident junior, let's say you're a junior, Monday through Thursday only, you can play for $10. If you're a non-resident, 60. Regular common folk, which once again, this guy sitting here talking right now, if you're a resident, it's $30 Monday through Thursday. Non-resident, 120. Weekend, 38. Non-resident, 140. And people still say that's a good deal. It's just a really good golf course. Like I say, being a municipal course, I mean, they've got different, you can rent a push cart, rental clubs. It's just, I'm a sucker for, just like I said, really good municipal golf courses that they pour back into the community. And this is a world-class facility. Like, it's not just a regular golf course run by the city. It is really, really good. And then PGA Tour would not host an event there. So number 6, we put that up there, Memorial Park Golf Course in Houston. All right, number 5. Number 5 on this list, this is one that I think by a lot of people is considered the best golf course in the state of Texas, Whispering Pines. Now, I will say one of the things I really like about Whispering Pines, they got a cool little logo, almost think tree farm-ish logo with 3 pine trees together with a little bit more thickness to the branches. I think it's really, really simple. Now, I will fully admit before doing the research for this particular podcast, I didn't know, if you would have showed me that logo, I'd be like, I don't know what golf course that's for. But Whispering Pines, I think it's a phenomenal golf course. It is it tips out at over 7,400 yards. I mean, it's huge. Now, the one thing too that Whispering Pines has, I think, and I've read about this before, is the Needler. The Needler is a short course, little 9-hole short course that, is considered one of the best short courses in the country. I guess once again, short course episode, here we go, but I'm a sucker for short courses, especially built next to a part of a bigger course. And if I'm not mistaken, that one may be even a lit short course as well. But it's over a 400-acre property. It's got lakes and different creeks. Whispering Pines is, like I said, before I did a lot of research on this, I will admit I did not know this much about this particular course, but as you look into it, private course, it just looks really, really phenomenal. So Whispering Pines coming in at number 5, and frankly, probably should be a lot higher on my list. Number 4, we're talking about Barton Creek. Barton Creek is in Austin or the Austin area. Now, Barton Creek, Barton Creek's not a golf course. It is a golf resort, country club. I don't even know how there's a Barton Creek Country Club, but Barton Creek has 4 different golf courses that are a part of what they got there. And there is some phenomenal looking stuff here. And I've actually stayed there once again, 20 plus years ago when we went to the Final Four. I actually had to stay out in Austin and drive to San Antonio one day because I just could not get a hold of couldn't get a hold of a room. So I ended up staying at Barton Creek one night and got to play one of the golf courses. I mean, the golf course designers of Fazio, Ben Crenshaw, Bill Coore, and even Arnold Palmer. The one that I played, and it is phenomenal, is the Fazio Foothills course. I mean, it has got natural limestone caves, waterfalls that are all along the golf course fairways. It got dramatic cliffs, some trees. The scenic, it's just very, very beautiful. And same as Fazio Canyons. Canyons, there's a lot of large sloping greens. There's a lot of different elevation changes. I think most people would think the Fazio Foothills course is the best, and the Fazio Canyons is probably the second best. But there's a lot of different, they're all really good courses. And then you got the Coore Crenshaw Cliffside Golf Course. Ben Crenshaw, partner Bill Coore, they're all, Ben Crenshaw's an Austin native. Like, this is just a really cool course. And then you got the Palmer Lakeside course. It's one of those probably kind of a forgotten, type of course because of when you got the Fazio Foothills, the Fazio Canyons, but by all accounts, it is a fantastic course. The resort there is beautiful. It's one of those places that, if you're going to stay a long time in Austin and you wanted a kind of a resort feel and not staying downtown, the Barton Creek Resort there is phenomenal. And I think when you're talking about those 4 golf courses, I don't know if there's a better 4-course golf resort in the state of Texas. So that's why I put that thing at number 4. Number 3, this is one, I will say number 3. Number 3 for us is Blackjack's Crossing at Lajitas Golf Resort. There is over 27,000 acres to talk about between Big Bend National Park and the Rio Grande. This is Lanny Watkins design. This is a course that if I were to say, okay, rank the course based on if you didn't get to experience other stuff around it, if you didn't get to experience some of the amenities of some of these other courses, the outside stuff. If you're talking about just pure scenery, just pure golf, Blackjack's Crossing might go number 1 on my list of courses that I would want to play. Now, I'm not very familiar with Lanny Watkins' courses he designed, but this is one that's It just looks really cool. And one of the really cool things about this, even though you don't want to say that you did this, they say there's a couple of holes, particularly the 14th hole, which plays along the Rio Grande River, that if you just, if it just goes a little astray or a lot astray, your golf ball could actually end up in a different country in Mexico. Now, part of me wants, if I get to play that one day, and this is a course I do want to play. Now, this is one I can see myself, I got to make it a priority to go to Blackjack's Crossing there at the Lajitas Golf Resort. Like, if I'm not 14, I might go all glory. It's par 4. Like, I might just rev back and just see if I can just absolutely crush the ball with everything I got. What's the worst that's going to happen? Put a ball in Mexico? Like, I think that would be kind of a cool thing to say that you did, even though that just destroys anything about trying to have a good score on the hole. But what if you crush it just right and maybe get really close to the green? I just think that would be really cool. I mean, how many people can say that your errant tee shot was so bad that it went into a different country? I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. The biggest, I don't know if this is a negative or not. Matter of fact, for some people, this would be a positive. The fact that the Lajitas, I know I'm not saying that, so please, if you're screaming at your, podcast or whatever, first of all, if you're screaming anything because of me talking, then I've got too much juice inside your head, so please stop. But I know you're not. But the one negative about this golf resort is it is truly in the middle of nowhere. Like, it is not close to much. This is one of those that you really got to go to. Like, you got to make it a point to go there. It's not one of those, let me just dip down here for 30 minutes to an hour. Like Stream Song and even Cabot Citrus Farms, they're an hour-ish, maybe hour and 15 minutes away from big cities, big airport. Like, this golf resort, this is a little bit longer than that. Like, this is not one of those if you're going here, you're going to stay at the resort. And then you're going to also play at the golf course. You're not just, it's not an afterthought type of thing. But it looks amazing. It's one of those things that the rank number 3 of mine may actually be too low. But I think it's that good. All right, number 2 on our list here is PGA Frisco. PGA Frisco is a new golf resort, in the Dallas area, although they call it Frisco, Texas. People probably would be upset that we called it Dallas, but to me, it's Dallas. That's probably not correct to say. But this was a place that was built all about the golf. PGA's headquarters are on this campus. It's only, it's still coming on board, I think. Like, it's still in its infancy stage of being a golf resort. And they've got some high-level golf courses there. Their most highly ranked course, and I think this is one of those, it's still coming up, is Fields Ranch East. It was designed by Gil Hans. This is one of those that they've already got it, I think, set up to host a PGA championship in the future years. And, like, this golf course was built and designed for the purposes of bringing high-level golf events. Now, it's a walking-only experience. They require you to have caddies, but it looks really amazing. The second other course, a part of it, is Field Ranch West. Not exactly the most creative in naming. Fields Ranch East, Field Ranch West. Now, Fields Ranch West was designed by Bo Welling, who I consider a South Carolina guy. I know his golf design group is located in the upstate here in South Carolina. But it's considered it's a really nice course as well. It's got, 75 feet of elevation change. They got large, greens and, things of that nature. Now, one of the cool things also about this resort, they got the thing called the Swing. It is a lit, 10-hole par 3 short course that, they're saying they try to make it a family-friendly type of place where, it's good if you're a good golfer. It's good if you're not so good. And they also got what they call the dance floor, which is also co-designed by Gil Hans and Bo Welling, which I think co-designs when you got 2 high-level designers, I think that's just a cool thing to see. And I heard a podcast with Bo Welling on it talking about working with Gil Hans on these designs. Like, and Bo Welling, I know, is really big with the things away. He's really big with golf, but he's really big on the things, the amenities that support the golf, that maybe not just about the golf course. But the dance floor, it is a huge, massive, it's a 2-acre putting course. You think about that. Like, you think we usually talk about putting greens and yards and feet, 2 acres. It's the largest natural grass putting course in the U.S. It's right there on property. That's another thing cool about PGA Frisco. Everything is right there on property. You could literally, just pull up, stay at the hotel, and never once have any reason, have no reason to ever get in a car. Because the resort and property is called the Omni PGA Frisco Resort and Spa. And this is a new thing. It's got over 500 rooms. And one cool thing, now I'm not going to know about this because I don't roll with this type of crowd, is they've got 10 exclusive ranch houses that are right there on property. Those are for the people that are in the price and economic dynamic that I'm not familiar with. But it just looks like overall just a cool resort. Dining, they got a lot of different places where you can eat. They got the ice house that's also there. It's on the PGA district. It's also like a hitting bay, almost like a Topgolf type of thing. They got Margaret's Cones and Cups. Looks like a cool little ice cream shop. And they got the swing bar that's up there on the swing short course. They've got this thing called the Trick Rider, which is it's a nice steak and seafood type of place. They got a Ryder Cup grill that looks really, really cool. They got this thing called the Bunker. It's on the Field Ranch course. That's the grab and go. And there's just a lot of different places that looks, they got a little coffee shop called Toast and Tea Coffee Collective that looks pretty cool. The Blue Stream bar looks really neat to me. That's over there at the hotel. It's got a little overflow pool looking over it. I just think it's just a really cool looking place. This place was designed for golfers, with also in mind that there's some non-golfers that may come along from time to time on these different events. I don't know if this is one of those places where if you have somebody coming with you that's not a golfer, if they would love it. I don't know. I mean, it depends on probably what you like to do. They do have spas. They have different things there. I mean, they've got shops on property. I mean, there's a lot, of course, they got a PGA shop. They got some high-level, vineyards and vines type of places. There's a lot of just different things. But, PGA Frisco, like I say, it's a newer thing. It's still developing, I think, along the way. So it's not fine-tuned yet. I've heard a lot of good things about the golf courses themselves. So to me, this is one of those would be a perfect weekend, long weekend. You come in, you play the East course, the West course, the short course, the putting course, and then you got all the different other amenities right there that is focused on golf, but then other things to do with good food along the way. I love it. It seems like something that would be really cool. Now, number one on my list, and this is one, now this course I think is in the top 10 of best courses in Texas by most places, but I for whatever reason, it's just stuck out to me, and it's one that I want to go to so bad. It's a private course, Blue Jack National. It's near Houston, Texas. This is a Tiger Woods with Bo Welling design course. I'm pretty sure this is Tiger Woods' first U.S. course that he's designed. This place, to me, looks absolutely amazing. Now, this is residential. This was meant to be a residential resort. Maybe the best way to say it. It's not meant to be a resort. You can't there's no hotel there. It's a ultra private type of place. It's one of those that I did look the one time. If you want to play as an unaccompanied guest, it's going to cost you $450 as an unaccompanied guest. And even if you're an accompanied guest, it was still pretty pricey. So, but it's just one of these, like, it's a resort residential retreat type of place. Now, once again, I'm not real familiar. If you want to be part of the golf club, first of all, it's hard to be a part of the golf club, but then you need to buy property there. And I was just perusing the residences that are available. And the first one is 26398 Jack's Barn. It's technically Montgomery, Texas, but I'm going to go with Houston. This place is only 18,000 square feet. They don't even list the price. I mean, it's just, first of all, this place looks like this place is a resort. This place, if you got 18,000 square feet, it's got 7 bedrooms. this place is a boutique hotel in of itself. Then you got another place over here that's only 5,500 square feet. It's going for 3.9 million. So yeah, this is a point house property, 4.9 million, 3.1, 1.2. You might, I mean, if you go down, you might be able to slum it at Cottage 38. Now, Cottage 38 is only a little over 2,200 square feet. It's got 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bath. It's only bargain basement price of $1.6 million. Now, I'm not saying I wanted to come here because of these cottages and different things like that. It's not the case whatsoever. But what I will say is, to me, the golf course, the amenities, the different things of it looks fantastic. And I think, too, part of it is maybe the mystique of that it's one of Tiger Woods' first courses that he's designed. And, you know, I remember a while back when you tee off, they actually announced everybody teeing off, or at least all the visitors. And I don't know if they still do that, but that was just one of the things, that they will announce your name on the tee box. Now, I've never had that done before in my life, at least not intentionally. There may have been some friends joking around. Even then, I don't even think anybody's ever done that. But they even got a short course called the Playgrounds that was designed by Tiger Woods' group. That's a lit one. I mean, it looks amazing, you know, as well. The overall course itself, you know, there's some people that say this is the best course in Texas. There's even some people who say it's a top 100 course in the U.S. I think it is such a private course that I don't think a whole lot of people, you know, except for when you see some influencers put it out there, really know. Now, one of the things I like about it too is the 12th hole there resembles the 12th hole at Augusta National. It looks it looks just, I don't want to say just like it, but it looks like it. And they do have these halfway houses. One of the halfway houses, I want to say it's after maybe the 12th hole or maybe the 11th hole or 10th hole, they have a brisket. They have just a chef they're cooking brisket. And you can get you some brisket right after. Like I said, it was either 10th or 12th hole where the brisket comes into play. And they're halfway houses. They got jerky in it. They've got all the candy you want. And they don't nickel and dime you. It's all included. Although if you're paying $450, you're certainly not getting it for free. And if you're a member of this club, which I've read somewhere that the initiation fee is $250,000, you know, this is not a place where you're skimping. So they don't try to charge you for every little piece of candy there at the halfway house. Matter of fact, the people that are playing that, they're not worried about that, even if they probably did have to pay. It's more the hassle. But the amenities of the different place, it looks amazing. So that's why Blue Jack National in Montgomery, Texas, which for me might as well be Houston. If you were to tell me what is the number one course in Texas, you can go play it today. We'll get you on there. Blue Jack National is it. I just think to me, the overall experience looks really cool. I mean, they got other different things that are out there and around, like say the food out in Blue Jack National looks really cool. And heck, if you were going to live out in the Houston area and you had that type of money, this seems like a pretty cool place to live if you had that type of money. So what do you think about my list? You know, Texas is one of those, like I could probably do a whole nother episode about Texas golf and choose 10 different golf experiences that are both outstanding. I think the thing that makes Texas underrated is the fact that it is such a deep state in terms of high quality golf courses. You know, when we talk about, you know, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, I think those states were all particularly top heavy. And don't get me wrong, there's some depth there too, but I think Texas is extremely deep and only growing with some fantastic designs still come into play. I think Tiger Woods has got another course or two that's coming along in Texas. So what do you think? What courses did I miss? Because I know I missed some, because there's some I got still in the back of my head that I was like, where do I put that course? Why didn't I put that one? And other really high-level golf resorts too. That's what makes Texas so deep. They just got, you know, it is a huge state. Don't get me wrong. Texas is such a huge state. It's almost unfair to compare Texas with other states because of how big they are. And, you know, don't mess with Texas. And I'd certainly say in the golf end. So I'd certainly love to hear what you have to say about it. You know, hit us up on X and Instagram. We're at SS of Golf. Shoot me an email. Love to hear from you. I'll certainly respond. southernstateofgolf@gmail.com. Love to hear all the I'd love to hear your thoughts. What did we miss in Texas? Like I said, I know we missed a lot. Certainly love to hear from you. Please go check out all the other great podcasts. They're part of the Best Ball family podcast. We're very blessed to be a small part of that. Go to bestball.com. Also, check out information about the Best Ball Golf Club. There's a lot of cool things that Jonathan and Robbie are doing, to make this a really cool, intimate golf club where it's connecting like-minded people with other people that might not normally get a chance to connect. So go check out bestball.com and look up and see what the Best Ball Golf Club has to offer. Golf club is, I know anytime people say this, it's like, what's the cost? You're always going to look at it. $5 a month. I think $5 a month is an outstanding value. And I'm like anything, that's one of those things. Go try it for a month or two. And if you don't like it, quit. I mean, you're not losing a whole lot, but I think you got a chance to gain some, good connections out of it. So I look forward to some of the things that the Best Ball Golf Club has to offer in the future. Well, I appreciate you listening in today or watching. If you're watching on YouTube, I certainly love doing these short course episodes, and I look forward to the next one. Y'all have a great day.